I'm Alice Padgett for UBTV, and I'm here at Senate House with this piece of graffiti as the UCU picketers are all around the campus today. Here at UBTV, we've covered the strikes 3 times, once in 2019, 2021, and earlier this year in 2022. So today, we're here to speak to the strikers to find out why they're here again. So how does it feel to be here again?
Repetitive. I've been doing this for 4 years straight.
Well, it's frustrating that we have to come back, particularly on pensions, when a few years back we had some pretty solid commitments that were made and those haven't been followed through.
It's really frustrating, but equally I'm still hopeful because you feel the energy of this. You see the number of us here and you think, well, their arguments are rubbish. Surely this makes sense. So yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't genuinely think there's hope for us succeeding this time round. But you think, God, again, the same conversations, the same problems, we're all just getting more exhausted.
It's a mixture of always elation, admiration for my colleagues who've come out in this weather, for the students who've come out in this weather to support us, but also massive frustration that this is almost it's a more than annual event, you know, it's just such a regular thing that we're giving up our pay, we're giving up the time we want to be spending teaching and trying to put pressure yet again on management to listen to our concerns, particularly in a cost of living crisis. These concerns are more acute than ever.
I've been at the university for quite some time now and I've seen conditions in terms of work get harder every single year. More is expected of us on every single level and platform, and the relationship with the university has varied over time. But in the current climate, with the cost of living crisis the way that it is, for younger members of staff in particular, it's an extremely challenging time for lower paid members of staff. Overall, our pay has declined by 25 to 30%. Since about 2009. Our pension has been drastically cut, though there is no reason for that to have happened. We're looking for fairness. We don't want to be out on strike. We don't want to be not teaching our students, but we want a fair whack, and we want the university and UK academia as a whole not to be devalued and to continue to be an attractive place for people to work and learn.
Every time since 2018 now, we don't seem to be getting too far. This might be different though, this being a countrywide strike, which is a bit different from how we've done it before. And also, of course, we're striking, I'm from UCU, and we're striking with a lot of other unions too. So there's Unison here as well. We had people from CWU coming to our picket line today, and they're on strike, and the RMT, and it looks like nurses and teachers and, all across public services, people are getting fed up. And the point also is that we're striking for higher education as a whole, and so we're really pleased to see lots of students who are supporting us. Together, both students and staff, what we're saying is we're fed up. We don't want higher education to be treated like this. It needs more investment. It needs investment in staff time, in teaching, in bringing the whole of higher education together, enough is enough.
So why do you think the uni hasn't met the demands that you've made previously?
Politics is the quick answer. Essentially it's about priorities, I think. Universities have plenty of cash, they're just choosing to spend it on vanity projects in some cases, and on infrastructure rather than staff.
They are part of a wider systemic problem where every sector can easily just go, yeah, well, they'll just be on strike for 3 days, which is 3 days of disruption, which is nothing compared to the disruption that they caused by actually underfunding the entire thing.
I think it's an element of just intransigence and inflexible thinking. I think so much of this is just computer says no, you don't give in, even though actually meeting some of the demands would save them money. I mean, you think about it, when I've been early in my career, I was on year-to-year contracts, and genuinely they had to use 3 senior members of staff to interview me for a job I was already doing. That costs a lot of money. So actually just giving secure contracts the whole way through is ultimately going to save them and give better quality education, because people are secure in their jobs and can plan from year to year. So yeah, it makes no sense, and I just think they're saying no because that's what you do.
The university takes advantage of our care for students and our conscientiousness, our desire to support them as best we can to cause minimal disruption to their degrees, and it uses that to exploit us, to push us into doing more and more for less and less, knowing that fundamentally we don't want to let students down, but at some point it has to give, and we have to strike.
Well, I think partly it's because of the attitude of government, but I think also the employers could do something about that. Both they could come and talk from our side, and make the same points that we are making to government. Plus also the universities have actually, they're getting huge amounts of money in from the students, and they're saving all that in reserves. They should be using that. They should be using that both for staff and for students.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Grace Burton for UBTV, and today I'm here at the Cube to attend one of the Teach Outs to see student perspectives on the UCU strikes. Why have you organised the Teach Outs today? Why are they important?
So we feel that it's one of the best ways we can to not only show the extent of staff-student solidarity that there is, but also to create more solidarity and turn that solidarity into an actual community that's committed to what we want to see, which is a university that's not built on exploitation in the way that it is now, in which students are actually properly looked after, staff are looked after, and we've all seen how much the uni loves to play staff and students against each other, weaponize the fact that we're paying all this money to try and turn us against the strikes, and this is one of the best ways that we can counter that division the uni's trying to make, by having these conversations between students and staff, showing that there is, we win the struggle if we do it together.
Yeah. And they're obviously happening in conjunction today with the UCU strikes. Why do you think those are still happening?
They're still happening because the uni doesn't give a shit, and the uni made £70 million in profit last year and would rather keep that for itself. And this isn't just Bristol, this is what they keep saying is, oh, this is a national dispute, we can't do anything.
Strength and feeling is certainly being heard. Because I don't know about you, but I'm bloody angry. I'm bloody angry because the public sector across the board is getting hammered. The people that keep this country running for our children, for our vulnerable, for our ill, for our sick, they are hitting us because we are the ones that care.
I've been Alice Padgett out in the rain with the UCU picketers, and the same question remains, whether something will change or if the same old demands won't be met.